We were buying $17 a gallon Walmart paint, latex, eyeballing, mixing it with plaster of Paris. The bedroom sets are going, so we just started doing more bedroom sets. Bugs, right?
Oh.
You cannot bug bomb bug furniture, okay? Bugs, it goes out to the curb.
Jacqueline and Melvin are a husband and wife duo who have been running a furniture painting assembly line that puts my nightstands assembly line series to shame on a weekly basis. And Jacqueline was nice enough to sit down with me and give me an inside scoop on some of her best insights from what color furniture sells the best, what type of furniture sells the best for her, what paint is the most efficient to work with, and much more. So get comfortable because you're not gonna wanna miss this. To start things off, I want to know like how you guys got into this business. How did you and your husband start refinishing furniture?
So before we had kids and we were just doing our own thing, I was a yoga teacher and we were in restaurants, bartending and that kind of thing. My aunt was doing this on the side. We lived in Tampa, and that's when everything was shabby chic. So we're like, you know, sanding here, everything's white, shabby chic all the way. She's like, you could do this and make money. So we started doing that. We did dining tables. I can't even tell you how many chairs we've done. Dining table after dining table. We would drive an hour to pick them up, pay like $200 for a nice table.
Yeah.
And I would hope to sell it for like $400. And that's painting
That's a lot of work.
6 chairs. This is all by hand before I even knew what a spray was. This is all chalk paint. So eventually we were able to make the bills, got pregnant, things kind of slowed down. We actually went back to Las Vegas. And then because we weren't able to make enough money doing it, because you know, it's terrible profit margin. So we went back to Las Vegas, had a couple babies, started again, and started buying better products. Better furniture, and we started buying real paint.
Real paint, okay.
Yeah, so we were making paint. We were buying $17 a gallon Walmart paint, latex, and then eyeballing, mixing it with plaster of Paris. And so there's plaster of Paris and paint cups all over my house, sanding dust all over my house. We started buying real paint, just started buying better products. And then our first 4-piece set we ever did, we sold for $350, which I thought was awesome because I spent like $50 on it. It was like 4-piece like this.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of work.
And then little by little, people liked it and we started raising the prices, buying better quality paints and things like that. Real paintbrushes. I used to buy Dixie Belle paintbrushes. That was like my thing. Then he quit his job. I was home with the baby. So that was 5 years ago because I would do it with her on my baby strapping thing.
Oh.
And I would be like painting. So that was 5 years ago when we started to try to be more serious. And then we just put all our eggs in that basket, really.
What's really inspiring to me about the early years of Jacqueline and Melvin's story is that they really did everything that they could to save both money and time. She's making her own paint, working with her baby strapped to her, and this just really resonates with me because when I started my business, I had to make sacrifices to get to where I am. And they're just more proof that if there's a will, there's a way. If you also resonate with this in any way and are trying to rack your brain, trying to figure out how you can find time to start another side hustle or business, then you're really going to appreciate the sponsor of today's video, Thrive Market. Thrive Market is your online go-to destination for healthy groceries delivered right to your door, but without the premium price tag. Plus, you get free shipping on all orders over $49, so not only are you saving time, but you're saving money. And maybe you can get the higher quality paint rather than mixing your own. Because at the end of the day, time is money, right? So I originally started ordering my groceries online just because I wanted to save time, but then I realized that there's actually a lot of options with really quality ingredients on Thrive Market. This year specifically, I have started making a lot of lifestyle changes to take my health into account, and there's a few things that I didn't like having to give up. Not give up, everything in moderation, right? But a couple of the things I found great substitutes for, and one of them is actually taco seasoning. I didn't know until I actually started reading ingredients seriously, but most taco seasonings have a lot of fillers and just artificial flavors in them. And I finally found one, and it's the Thrive Market brand that has all clean ingredients. I know exactly what everything is in this ingredient list. It's actually spices. And the other thing that I'm really excited about is actually their avocado mayonnaise. I noticed at the grocery store, a lot of the mayonnaise will say made with avocado oil. And then when you go and look at the ingredients, it'll say like canola oil and then avocado oil. This brand actually is just avocado oil. So it is super healthy and super yummy. So this really just gives me peace of mind when I'm shopping, because Thrive Market has actually banned over 1,000 ingredients from even being on their website. Click the link in my description below or go to thrivemarket.com/AbbyAskYou to receive 30% off your order and a free gift when you join Thrive Market today. So looking around, you have a lot of stuff, and you've told me that you do only a handful of colors, really.
Yes.
What made you decide to go with sort of like this coastal, mostly all neutral colors, and you also specialize in bedroom sets?
Yes. So we said, where can we paint chalk paint, shabby chic, and make the most money? And the best thing I could think of was Florida, because everybody wants the coastal furniture. So we're like, okay, well, Tampa's too expensive. We didn't really like it. Let's go to Jacksonville. So we rented a house online, came here and started doing it, and just kind of found what didn't work, what did work. We used to buy a lot of auction furniture, so I would get random things, and those would end up sitting in my storage unit at that time for months. You know, somebody, a little tiny end table that I paid $10 for, trying to sell it for $75, it'll sit there for months.
Yeah.
But what I noticed is the bedroom sets are going, tables not so much. So we just started doing more bedroom sets.
And the great thing about doing sets is that you can batch paint them. So you can
Yes.
clean, prep, prime them all
Yes.
essentially in an assembly line. Is that what you do?
So that's what we're really good at. So we have a pretty big space now, and my husband Melvin, he is the king at fast. So he is out there with his sanders, with the vacuum, with the thing. He's got like 9 or 10 things, you know, nightstand, dresser, bed. And then he's just, you know, going through and crazy. And then that's where we have such a good partnership, because he'll do it fast. I call him like a bull in a china shop, you know, but it's done fast. Like he would do all these when somebody else might do one. But then I come in and kind of do some of the detail work and fine tune. And so it's like
It works out. So you're the one who has the eye for detail and pays attention to all the little things.
So I'll come in and maybe there's something that he missed here, or like, have you ever sanded too far and you get that little furry? I call it fur.
Oh,
so
yeah.
a lot of times we'll get fur in a couple spots, and then I'll come back through and I'll sand it out. But he already did all the hard work. I just have to come in and fix a couple things. Yeah.
It sounds like you guys are a great team.
So
he's doing the grunt of the work, and you're doing all the stuff that
the pretty stuff.
The pretty stuff that people overlook, that's so important. The staging, the attention to details, the marketing, the talking to the customers. Are you doing all of those?
I'm front of the house, I guess, and he's back of the house, which is great.
That is such a good duo. See, I would want to be the back of the house.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like you did so much work that it's like, now I have to do all this other work to list and stage the piece, because you can't overlook it. It's so important. But when you're done and you did all that work refinishing it, you're like, you just want to be done sometimes. So it's nice that he's able to hand it over to you, and you can look at it with a fresh set of eyes. And let's stage this. Let's make it beautiful so that it sells.
Right. I don't know if it helps, but I feel like this is fun to me, making things pretty. I handle all the buying, the sourcing, and I tell him color, I tell him tops, I tell him this, but he just builds that blank canvas. So he sands it, he primes it, whatever color I choose, he'll spray that color, and then, you know, we hand paint everything, the second coat. So then sometimes I'll help with that if I have time.
You hand paint or you spray it?
We spray everything once with full coat paint, and then we hand paint 100% the second coat.
Why is that?
The gun that we have is a Graco gun. He says it puts out too much material.
It does.
So he'll spray it and it gets nearly 100% coverage, but there's always a couple spots that are missed. So we found the way to get 100% coverage, never have little dots, is if we go over the whole thing with a brush. And that also prevents any, like sometimes there's like the orange peel or whatever.
Yeah.
No drips get ever missed, because we're always going over it with that paintbrush. And it just works. I've had people tell me, you can't do that. Yeah, it takes too long. You can't do that. But
if it's your process,
it works for us. It's our process.
And he's clearly getting that first coat done really fast.
Right. I mean, in like seconds.
Yeah, because I've used that Graco sprayer, and it puts a lot of material out, but it covers it really quickly.
Right. And then also, if you were to spray a second coat, say you had all the time in the world to let it dry, come back and do another coat, we're talking 2 gallons of paint. You know what I mean? But instead, I'm using about 1 gallon per set in this particular gun. The gun that we use, he likes. the HVLP with the big loud machine thingies.
Yes.
We've always lived in houses and neighborhoods, and it just never worked out. That compressor, someone did say it's pretty loud.
I ran an assembly line in my brother's driveway with an HOA, and nobody complained. I actually had neighbors stopping, and they were like, "What are you doing?" And another girl came up to me, and she was like, "Actually, you inspired me to paint a piece of furniture."
Yeah, that's so great.
So I thought that was funny, but some HOAs and neighbors are more annoying than others.
And that's why when we bought this house we have now, the business was the main focus of buying the house. I mean, we had like 5 different things on our list of what we needed in this house, and it was all business related. So it's a 2-car garage, which was minimum. The other house that we rented was 3-car garage, which was great, but it was in the HOA. So 2-car garage, we have a ½ acre, so we needed a space for a building, which we built the building, and then a way to drive to the back, because not all houses have a way to get through.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a tree, or sometimes there's a fence with no gate, or whatever it is. So we looked for houses with 2-car garage, big yard, drive-through access. I wanted a pool, and I guess affordable was the other thing. There's a lot that's not very affordable.
It's not easy to find a ½ an acre around here, trust me. I know.
I wish I had one more bedroom, but for the sake of the business.
Yeah. So why focus in on painted furniture? I'm curious. Have you ever thought about selling? I saw one of your videos that said, I don't ever do like full refinishing. Tell me why painted furniture. Is it more bang for your buck? Does it sell better than wood furniture?
So I used to stain all of our tops. We've just found that in my experience, staining doesn't get more money. Now maybe for you it does, and maybe for somebody who's more professional it would. But I haven't put enough time to become a professional stain person, so it just wasn't banging for the buck quick enough. We could just paint it, even if it had all these problems, clean it up, paint it, and sell it for X amount.
It actually eliminates a lot of factors too, because
Time
also. And like damages, sometimes the damages like you literally can't repair the wood. So I feel like this just created a streamlined process for you.
We need to make this much to keep everything moving. Like we have the 3 kids, we have all these bills, things are expensive now. We don't have the other jobs as the backup. So like I said, eggs all in this basket. Yeah. So if I know that I could paint this dresser and do our thing and I will get X amount, for it, that's way quicker than all these layers of sanding and staining. It's just...
And that these colors are guaranteed to sell.
Yeah.
That also takes me to another question that I have for you. You have done a lot of furniture over the years. What are the best selling colors? Because you have the data. That was the whole point of my assembly line. I wanted to see what color furniture sells the best.
Yes, I remember that video you did with the nightstands and everything.
Yeah, you have way more data than...
You came out with black, right? That was your best color?
Yes.
I cannot for the life of me sell anything black. These chairs I've had for months. Yes. I have a table over there that's black. I've had it for 2 years. And I cannot sell black furniture. For me, bright white, anything creamy is usually pretty good, but not too yellow. I really try and stay away from anything yellow. But right now, sage is super hot.
Still?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, so if I paint something sage, it'll go within a couple days. So I had a bedroom here and it sold the next day. And I even told Melvin, I said, this one's going to go really quick because it has nice lines. I can see these things now. So we're going to paint it sage. And sure enough, it did. It went the next day.
What are some of the lines that people like? Do you think that they like more of this streamline, or do you find that customers do like when it has the intricate details?
In my experience, they like it more simple. I think, again, this is all, I know everybody's different, so I hate to say that there's one answer, but for us, this is more ornate. Yes. I find it very pretty. I find it beautiful and interesting, but customers tend to like things more, I hate to say boring, but more minimal, more neutral, more modern. When things are more ornate, they say, wow, that's so beautiful, but we're looking for something a bit more simple. So I would never pass this up because I think somebody will love it. But, I have another set. That one's very ornate. And I would never pass it up, but it's very ornate and it will take the right buyer. But something simple, I think, would sell very quickly.
So is that what you look for more when you're sourcing your furniture, or are you more so looking for the quality of how the furniture is made?
To be honest, everything's so expensive right now and I pay a lot of money for all my things. So I will buy almost anything that is smoke-free. That's my first thing. Smoke-free, and of course, like the kind of set that I'm looking for. If it is a crazy style,
So
I'll
what
look
are you
past
looking
that.
for? A set of two nightstands?
I need 2 nightstands. I will not buy 1 nightstand. I prefer a king bed. I will not buy a queen, but if it's a 4-piece like this, I'll still take it because somebody can make it work, but it would be better if it had a bed. But yeah, smoke-free is 100% a deal maker. I would not buy anything with smoke, and just a good price because things are so expensive right now. The market is not flooded with things to buy, that's for sure.
I've noticed that too, because I've had so much stuff always popping up on Marketplace, and now all of a sudden that I have a house to furnish, I've noticed that it's way more difficult to find what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I don't know if things were just more expensive. I don't know. I used to, in Las Vegas, my max price for, we didn't do beds in Las Vegas, so that was a big difference. But my max price with a 4-piece set was $250.
That you would spend?
That I would spend. And then my price that I would sell it for was $500. So I was trying to make this $250.
Oh, that's low.
Yes, it was not great in Las Vegas.
So now you've increased your prices
Right.
a lot.
Our quality has gone up because that was, 5 years ago. The product that we use, like the paint and things, have become more expensive. I also will replace every single hardware. We never ever leave old hardware unless it's bamboo furniture. But otherwise, I replace it all. Now I'll spend around $700 for a set with a bed, and it's really tough to find them that cheap. A lot of people want $1,500 for these sets. So I'm just constantly, like this, and I don't click anymore. I scroll. I'm constantly scrolling, and my husband's like, get off your phone. And I'm like, I have to look, and it's become this like addiction of, if I have to like look king bedroom set or, dresser set. And if it's available, and I always say, is this 100% smoke free? And if they say yes, I say, can I come now?
Yeah.
And that's something that I think makes us really successful is, I will come now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very important because when you find a good deal on Facebook Marketplace, you have to be ready to go and pick it up
because there's not many left.
When you go through the whole process and refinish the entire bedroom set, what does the price ranges look like from like the low end bedroom set to like your high end bedroom set?
So are we talking king plus 4? So like,
yeah, let's say that.
So king plus 4 is generally what I look for. If it's on the lower end of quality, so I don't ever buy anything that's like really bad. Like if you like kind of push it like this and it like wiggles at all, that's definitely no good. So it has to be pretty good. But if it's on the lower end, so if it's like a 7 out of 10, then I can paint it, like thickness and sturdiness and quality. So something like that on my low end, I have one listed for like $1,600, and it's a king bed plus 4. But something really great, like we had some Kincaid sets that just went out. Those were listed for $2,500 or $2,600. I still feel like that's really cheap, but that's where my market is right now. I'm not in the business to hold painted furniture. I want to do it and get it out and do the next one.
How much furniture are you typically moving in a week as far as production and selling?
My goal is to bring in 4 new bedroom sets a week.
Oh, that's a lot.
That doesn't always happen, but my goal is to bring in 4 new bedroom sets a week. And to be honest, my biggest problem is sourcing. So if there's not 4 around here to buy, then I'm either spending a lot of time driving, like to go down to Palm Coast or up to Georgia, or I'm not bringing in that 4th set. We do a lot of custom work, and so that helps. Like say I have a bad week in sales, if custom people are getting their furniture, that fills in those gaps.
So you're telling me that with your husband's process, he's able to get out 4 painted bedroom sets in a week?
And one of the reasons we can do that is because we're not staining, right? So it's about time. Still keeping good quality. I still want it to be beautiful, but it's just got to keep moving.
How many pieces is that? Like 4-piece sets usually, or are they 5-piece sets?
Usually it's a bed plus 4. So maybe like 20 or 25 pieces. Wow. Again, it's not always exact, but that's my goal.
This is just fascinating because it's proof that the concept works.
Right.
Like this is really inspiring to me because the whole point of the assembly line that I did was I wanted to see if it was possible to make furniture refinishing efficient to where it could be a successful business and a successful income for somebody. And you guys have clearly proven that. At what point did you decide to get a storefront and sell to customers in an actual showroom versus from your home. Have you noticed that it has helped you get better prices for your furniture?
Absolutely. So when you go to somebody's house, in my opinion, you're going to a garage painter. You know what I mean? It's just on Marketplace. Now, granted, I'm on Marketplace, but when people know that I have a store, I feel like psychologically it gives me more credibility. Maybe makes you think that I do a better job.
Yep.
Maybe makes you think that I'm more experienced. Maybe makes you think that I have better products. But it just instantly gives people, I feel like, a better vision of what we're doing. Also, sales tax. I charge sales tax to everybody. And I could not for the life of me get people to be willing to pay sales tax off of my storage unit. You know what I mean? And I get it. But the purpose of all of this was to buy a house for my kids. And to do all that, everything has to be on the books, you know?
Yes.
And so having the real store, I think, gives us a lot of just credibility.
People take you more
People
seriously.
take us a lot more seriously, and it's so convenient. You know, I don't have people come into my house at weird times. You know, this is my store hours. I'm here Tuesday through Friday. Yeah, this is when you can come. People custom drop off furniture, and instead of me breaking my back to say, yeah, I can meet you at that time, now I say you can come anytime, Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 2. So I have a setup in the back where they can just kind of wheel up and bring their stuff in. We do offer a pickup and delivery service that we hire out a third party. We used to do it all ourselves, and in a perfect world, I would do everything myself, but now there's no time.
Yeah, you literally can't do everything yourself. So when it comes to selling the pieces that you source versus doing custom work, what % of your business would you say is custom work versus, hey, I sourced this and now I'm going to try to resell it?
Yeah, so it used to be about 50-50, but now that we have this bigger store space, we can have more furniture for sale. But with custom, it's great because people bring me their old bedroom set that they already know they love. They know it's great quality, it's their furniture, they know what's going on with it, but it's brown and ugly or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we paint it, for example, light blue, and when they see it, they're like shocked and amazed and they're so happy. It's like they're having a baby or something.
Aww.
Yeah, so that's really rewarding because now I'm making them happy with their furniture, and plus they save money because they keep their good stuff. So I don't get that same like I just had a baby feeling from people when they come in the store. They see it, it's beautiful, they buy it, which is cool, but it's not the same level of rewarding. But in the store, I love this because I get to choose it. I chose the color. I chose the hardware. I did everything. This is like my creation, and that's so fun for me.
Wow, I love the way that you put that because I've always said, you know, I don't like doing custom work because it takes all the creativity out of it. But I never looked at it in the eyes of like, well, now you get to collaborate with somebody and be creative together. And you have this kind of nice balance where you can be creative and do the pieces on your own. But at the same time, you have the custom work, which is more of a reliable, okay, I know I'm going to get paid for this.
Say I have 8 of these in my store and they're not selling very well. That's like $8,000 just sitting here.
Yep.
But somebody brings me a custom, I know I'm going to get paid in 3 weeks.
When it comes to custom work versus flipping pieces, which one would you say has a higher payout or better return on your time?
I actually make them the same. So in my theory, I'm doing the same amount of work. How much would I be profiting if I sold this in my store? And it's pretty much the same. Sometimes people are like, oh, well, I could buy that bedroom set and it's like almost the same amount of money, but they're saving the initial, like say I spent $700 on this, they're saving that $700.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if this whole thing is $2,000, I'm still going to charge them, you know, the $1,300 or whatever. So it's like the same. But you know that this is great quality. You know where this furniture has been. So that's still way more bang for their buck to keep their furniture if it's good. You know what I mean? And then we can refresh it.
And on the bright side for you as well, you just saved the time of having to go out and source and pick up the piece. So it does save you a couple hours.
Right.
And as far as the paint color,
they can do any color, which gets me in a lot of trouble because they'll come up with some like crazy color sometimes. But I can order almost any color from Wise Owl. I custom order gallons from them. So one customer had us do Rock Garden by Sherwin-Williams, which is this really rich green. And it just cost me $10 more to have this custom color made. So as long as you give me time, it takes like 2 weeks. But then I can have any color made, but I will use Wise Owl.
Okay, we should talk about that then on the topic of Wise Owl. So I got the Wise Owl paint from her for my kitchen cabinets and I love it. It's fabulous. But It is more expensive than the Sherwin-Williams Emerald Urethane. Why is it worth it for you? I know why, but I want to hear in her words.
So for me, first of all, just to be completely transparent, I sell the paint, but I honestly don't really make much. I've sold like, I don't know, 10 cans in my lifetime. I sell the paint because I thought it would be good to have in store, but I use this paint religiously. I use this paint exclusively. It's just a better quality paint. And so since I sell it, I do get a little bit of a discount, but I would still absolutely use this paint even without the discount. It's hands down so much nicer, and the cure time's 10 days. You know, Sherwin or Ben Moore, they want like, some of them want like 60 days. I don't have time for that.
What I've noticed too is, if you're not familiar with Wise Owl, it's an enamel based paint. So it dries rock hard and you don't have to do a top coat with it. And a lot of enamel paints take 4 to 8 hours to dry in between doing coats. Wise Owl is in the name, it's a 1 hour enamel. It dries in 1 hour. You can recoat it in 2 hours. That's making your turnaround time for projects so much quicker.
Right.
And then on top of that, the Wise Owl is, I think it's 90% cured within 4 hours. So that means you can set items on the furniture in the store without having to wait a full 30 days for the paint to cure. Because I remember when I had my booth, I would put little items on my furniture before that annoying 30-day cure time, and it would stick or it would mess up the paint finish. And I just refinished my whole kitchen, put it all together. Within a day, I'm slamming the cupboards and stuff, and I have no nicks and dings on my kitchen cabinets.
I love this paint.
Yeah.
Like the staging, I might have this done. I don't have time to wait 30 days. I would also never send uncured furniture to a customer, because if your uncured furniture gets ding in it and gets all messed up, it makes you look like an idiot. You know what I mean? And that's crazy. You can't do that. So with this paint, it's so good. This has been here for probably about 2 weeks, so that's fine. But I did put all this stuff on here, take my picture the very next day. I do let it sit for about a day.
You said that you never send furniture home with customers until it has cured and dried properly. How long will you wait between finishing the final coat of paint to feeling comfortable to send the furniture home with somebody?
So usually my items sit for about 2 weeks, and that's just the nature of my store. Say Melvin finishes this yesterday and I get all the tops done yesterday or whatever, and then today I came in and put all my things on, take a picture. It's probably going to sit here for at least 2 weeks before it gets purchased. People, a lot of times they'll buy something and they might say, hey, I can't take it home until next week. And then it's literally perfect. If it was 30 days, that would be a problem.
Yeah.
Right? Because then now you're talking about more storage. So with this, it just lines up, you know?
That's awesome. With other paints, I've been nervous going to stage the piece of furniture the next day because I don't want the items to stick on it. So I think it just shows the proof that the paint is really important.
Yeah, and this is no top coat. This is literally just the enamel, and I love it. It's so great.
Time is money.
Yes.
Going back really quick to just talking about this storefront and the overhead with it, are you comfortable sharing?
It's very expensive. Every area is more expensive or less expensive depending on how valuable it is. Like the fancy area over there, that's like, they want like $10,000 for 1,000 square foot. This location is still a busy street. We're still in like a little strip, but it's not that main strip. So this space is just under 4,000, 37 something. And that's before insurance. That's before power, my power, because I keep the AC on, that's another couple hundred. So let's just say like 4,000 just to have the store. It's 2,300 square feet. My vision is you walk through that door, I'm selling you a concept, you know, and this one doesn't even have a bed, but you know, if you look at some of the other ones, I'm selling you this concept. The bed is made, the pillows are on it. There's, you know, artwork, even if it's not quite to scale. In theory, if it was a perfect piece of artwork to scale to that bed, that's better. Lamps are on, lamps match, even if the people aren't buying the lamps, because usually they don't buy.
It helps them visualize it.
It's the visual, you know, I want people to walk in and say, oh my gosh, I need that. I didn't even know I needed a king bed, but I want that, you know?
Do you ever have people come in here and like want to buy the decor items that you stage with?
Yeah, sometimes. So sometimes people will buy the lamps and I'm like, really? So I've sold a couple lamps, but that's not really where my thing is. I wish it was, you know, my dream would be to fill this place with things, you know?
Yeah.
and then for people to come in and just buy the things. But I haven't figured that out yet. I think that's like really hard. I don't know. I just can't figure it out. I would love to sell some furniture and tons of home decor, but I can't quite get there. People just keep buying the furniture.
So how do you market your furniture?
So I sell like 99% on Facebook Marketplace, which I feel like on one hand is free advertising, but on the other hand, I feel like I'm in this kind of price bubble, you know, like sometimes I feel like things should sell for more, but if I put them above this line, they're out of the bubble and they get no clicks. But then if I put them right under the line, say $2,500, sell the next day.
Oh.
Right? You know, so
have you tried any other ways of marketing, like running Facebook ads?
Everything that we've done in the last 8 years has been trying something and then adjusting either more up or more down from that. You know, if this works, do more of that. If this doesn't work, do less of that. And I've spent the most was like $600 or $700 in ads, and it makes me nervous, and I can't tell if it's working. But maybe it is.
You were saying that some pieces take longer than others to sell. It's sometimes hard to determine what the factor is, but is there a certain point when you've had a piece of furniture for so long that you decide to mark it down? And what is that time frame?
So that is something we really struggle with, because I found that my prices are generally at the limit of what I'm willing to take. I try not to price them too high. I might lower the price a little bit after like a month, but once I start lowering, I'm cutting too close. So it's like a pre-negotiated price almost.
So you don't take negotiations. It's like, this is the price.
I try really hard not to. Okay. So sometimes somebody will make me a really great deal, and you know, money talks. If you come in here with, you know, cash in a trailer and you're ready to go, I might, but generally my prices are pretty firm, just because I don't have to make fast sales. I mean, like I said, our biggest problem is sourcing and painting quick enough that keeping my store full and beautiful at the price that I want for it, which is already, like I said, the pre-negotiated price, that is fine. It can sit there, you know.
Good. So, being patient, I think, pays off usually.
Yeah. I have gone back and like changed the hardware or changed a couple things. Maybe there's a reason this isn't selling, but for the most part, I try to stay pretty firm with those prices. I also feel like if your prices are fluctuating a lot, maybe people see that, you know, and then they don't take it seriously.
I've always wondered that on Facebook Marketplace, especially, like in my mind, my psychology is like, if it's marked down, I think, well, why did nobody else want that?
Right.
But some people see it as like, oh, it's a deal.
Right.
Like Hobby Lobby, how, you know what I'm talking about? When you walk in and it says furniture is always 40% off. And I'm like, then that means it's not 40% off.
Right.
If it's all, that's just the price. Like so whenever I mark something down, I will completely take it off and relist it for the lower price.
I just do my best to stay fair, and that's worked for us. I would love to, like I said, make more money, but
wouldn't we all?
Yeah, but
I do think that's a really good little nugget of advice, though. Like, if the piece of furniture isn't selling, maybe doing some small tweak, like just changing out the hardware, can make a difference. Because I've seen that too, where I had this really beautiful piece of Art Deco furniture, and I kept the original Art Deco hardware on it because I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah.
But as soon as I swapped out the hardware to, you know, more modern pulls, the piece of furniture went like within a week. So sometimes those little tweaks can make a difference. Is there any advice you could give to somebody wanting to start a furniture painting business?
Yes. Okay. So people ask me all the time, what can I do to get started? I think as they see that we've built a whole life all on furniture, it's doable, but it's hard work. So if you're willing to put in the work, you can do it. I would say start small. Don't overwhelm yourself. You know, just do a nightstand and see what products you like and do something small and start. Like I said, everything that we've done is we've tried something and it was good, so did more, or it was not so great, did less of that. You know what I mean? So just go for it and see what happens.
Definitely not for the faint of heart.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. One thing that I feel like is very different from me and anyone else, we will never, ever, ever take anything for free.
Oh, really?
Ever. No, we will never take anything for free. Maybe if a customer gives me something for free, but if something's on the curb, I will not take it. I know you and other people have made like this really great kind of thing with like taking things from trash to treasure, and is a really great transformational video, you know, like a really great reel. However, when time and money, it's more profitable for me to buy something nice that probably doesn't even need to be painted, paint it white or paint it light blue, and then resell it for now this modern price. And that's one thing that works for us specifically.
No, that is a huge piece of advice, because when you're watching my furniture flips, I don't want you to think that that's what you need to go out and get to make money, because I'm specifically looking for pieces of furniture that are trash.
Okay, so that's so opposite.
It's so opposite, because I love the transformation.
Yeah.
I love to see something that was literally going to the landfill to something so beautiful. My business is in the content and creating the videos and showing the transformation. But if I were trying to, you know, make a profit from refinishing furniture, I would never pick up like these buffets and stuff that I refinish, because the amount of hours that go into just getting it to the point where it's even paintable, where it's going to look good once it's painted, is not worth the amount of money that I could sell it for. Sometimes I get so aggravated with myself because I'll pick up these pieces that are in such terrible condition, because like I just want to save it.
Yeah.
But then I end up spending, like, behind the scenes of what you see in the video, I've been fussing with this drawer for the last 4 hours trying to get the track to work properly.
Yeah.
But like, that's not the stuff that looks good on video, but it's the stuff that you still have to do to fix the piece of furniture. So running this type of business, I can imagine that you try to avoid drawers that don't work.
Every track line is usually replaced. So like the little Kenlin right guards or whatever they're called, we replace almost every single one of them because of the weather. They dry out and they crumble. So I will never leave a broken track line. We do replace those. So everything should be fully functional in the store. Bugs, right? Oh, you cannot bug furniture. Okay, bugs, it goes out to the curb. And you know, I got this set of furniture and it was a whole set. We primed it white, and as soon as we primed it white, all these little bugs were visible. And I was like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? So we bug bombed the whole garage, right? With like $100 in bug bombs. And then we put it in our trailer. And then we bug bombed the trailer the next night. And then we like kind of wiggled it a little and they came out again. So I put it on my curb. I literally put the whole primed, it was primed white, so it looked pretty good. Put it on the curb, wrote a sign on it that says, has bugs, do not take. And it was still picked up within like an hour.
Somebody probably flipped it.
Yeah, somebody probably flipped it and sold it. So one thing that's really important to me is the integrity of the piece and the client. If I sell you some furniture that smells like smoke even a little bit, and you tell your friends that you got smoky, crappy furniture from me, I'm done.
You're
cooked. Know? If you see a little cockroach come up onto your beautiful white wall behind your new dresser from me, I'm done. And that's why I get nervous about picking up furniture from the curb, because I'm like, well, why did they throw it out?
Yeah.
You know, and chances are maybe it's fine, but I can't take that. To be honest, it's quicker for me, you know. You know what question almost every single person asks me? They say, oh, and usually it's more full, right? Do you do all this yourself? And I'm thinking in my head, are you freaking kidding me? You know, like, are you joking? Like, try and lift up this dresser, you know, not only the moving, but I think people have no clue like how much goes into it. Yeah, people always think it's just me, so
that's kind of cute.
I know.
Honestly, I look around at this furniture and like, this is all furniture that I wouldn't pick up because I can't move that by myself. Right. This is ginormous furniture. Like when I pick up a dresser, something I'm thinking about is like, am I going to be able to move this around my garage and actually work on it by myself? Right. Which, given I did just have Colson deliver me this ginormous antique wardrobe, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get it in the truck and into my garage by myself, so I hired him to pick it up from the thrift store and bring it to my house. Yeah. Typically, I wouldn't pick up furniture this big because there's no way that I would be able to move this by myself. Yeah. So it's really nice that you guys have a team. It's
actually the one thing that I think we have over any single finisher, you know.
I love that.
And not just unmarried, but like any person who does it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really big difference.
I love that. That's goals. That's goals. I feel like we need to do a follow-up video in the future where you take me behind the scenes of the shop and we see your guys' full process.
Well, yeah, because this is probably less than half of it.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for letting me see the inside of your store and giving insight into your business.
Yes, thank you so much.
If you are in the Jacksonville, Florida area and you need your furniture painted, I highly suggest going and checking out Refinished by Friday, because Jacqueline and Melvin are very meticulous with their work. Every piece of furniture in there was absolutely beautiful. They have mastered the art of the faux wood finish. Melvin actually paints all the pieces and then brings them into the store, and Jacqueline will finish it up by applying this faux wood grain technique that turns out so beautiful. And she also is a Wise Owl retailer, so I will put her link to her website in the description below, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. I definitely learned a lot, and it's kind of making me scheme a little bit and want to do a furniture assembly line again. Maybe with Jacqueline and Melvin.